Ever stop to wonder why people do what they do? Today, we're diving deep into the interesting world of human nature in this video, a summary of the laws of human nature by Robert Greene. Curious to unravel the mysteries behind our behaviors? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on an eye-opening journey together. In this video, we'll peel back the layers of human psychology to uncover the driving forces behind our actions. From understanding irrational behavior to navigating narcissism, envy, and conformity, we'll explore it all. Plus, we'll share practical strategies for managing these aspects of human nature in both personal and professional life. So, if you've ever found yourself pondering the complexities of human behavior or seeking insights into why people act the way they do, you're in the right place. Get ready to expand your mind, gain valuable insights, and maybe even learn a thing or two about yourself along the way. And if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our community of curious minds. Let's get started. First of all, let's talk about understanding human nature. So, what exactly do we mean when we talk about human nature? Think of it as the blueprint that shapes who we are, our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's like the software running in the background of our minds, influencing every decision we make. Now, understanding human nature isn't just about knowing why your friend always orders the same coffee every morning, even though they say they like trying new things. It goes much deeper than that. It's about unraveling the mysteries of why we humans do what we do, from the big life choices to the smallest everyday habits. Picture this. You're at a party, and someone walks in wearing a flashy outfit that screams, "Look at me!" What's your immediate reaction? Do you judge them? Admire their confidence? Maybe even feel a slight jealousy? See, human nature is all about decoding these complex reactions and understanding the underlying motivations behind them. But why does this matter? Well, imagine you're in a job interview. Knowing a thing or two about human nature can give you the upper hand. You'll be able to read the interviewer's body language, anticipate their questions, and tailor your responses to leave a lasting impression. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket. Now here's the kicker. Once you start peeling back the layers of human nature, you'll begin to see patterns emerge. Suddenly, those seemingly random quirks and idiosyncrasies start to make sense. You'll notice that people are more likely to say yes when you ask for a favor in person rather than over email, or that we tend to trust recommendations from friends more than advertisements. But it's not just about decoding other people's behavior. It's also about understanding yourself on a deeper level. Ever wonder why you procrastinate until the last minute or why you always second-guess yourself? Spoiler alert, it's all rooted in human nature. So by unraveling the mysteries of human nature, you'll not only become a master of social dynamics, but also gain valuable insights into your own psyche. It's like putting together a puzzle where every piece reveals a little more about who we are and why we do the things we do. All right, now let's talk about the law of irrationality. Imagine you've got this friend, let's call him Tom. Now, Tom's a smart guy, but sometimes he makes decisions that just don't seem to add up. Like that time he spent a small fortune on a fancy gadget he didn't really need, only to regret it later. Sound familiar? Well, welcome to the club. See, here's the thing about humans, we're not always as logical as we'd like to believe. Our brains are wired in such a way that emotions, biases, and all sorts of other funky factors often hijack our decision-making process. It's like trying to navigate through a maze blindfolded. Take Tom, for instance. He knows he should be saving up for that dream vacation, but when he sees that shiny new tech toy on sale, logic flies out the window. And before he knows it, he's swiping his credit card without a second thought. It's not that Tom's dumb or reckless. It's just that our brains are wired to prioritize short-term rewards over long-term gains. Now you might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, but what can I do about it? Fear not, my friend, for there are strategies to help us rein in our irrational tendencies. First off, awareness is key. By recognizing when our emotions are clouding our judgment, we can take a step back and evaluate our decisions more rationally. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that magically filter out all the emotional fuzz. Next up, we've got to learn to pause before we pounce. Instead of acting on impulse, try giving yourself a cooling off period. Sleep on it, take a walk, heck, even count to 10 if you have to. Giving yourself some breathing room can often shine a light on the irrationality lurking in the shadows. And finally, don't be afraid to seek outside perspective. Sometimes a fresh pair of eyes can spot the flaws in our reasoning that we're too close to see. So bounce your ideas off a friend, a family member, or even your pet goldfish. You might be surprised by the insights they offer. So irrationality, it's a quirky little quirk of human nature that we all grapple with from time to time. But armed with awareness and a few handy strategies, we can learn to navigate the irrational waters of decision-making with a little more grace and a lot less regret. Now let's dive into the fascinating world of narcissism. When we talk about narcissism, we're not just referring to someone who takes a few too many selfies or talks about themselves a lot. It runs much deeper than that. Think of it as an inflated sense of self-importance, coupled with a constant craving for admiration and a lack of empathy for others. You know that person who always manages to turn every conversation back to themselves? Yep, classic narcissistic behavior right there. Now here's where things get interesting. Narcissism isn't just about individual traits. It can have ripple effects on relationships and society as a whole. Picture this, you're in a group setting, and there's that one person who always needs to be the center of attention, hogging the spotlight and overshadowing everyone else's contributions. It can create tension, resentment, and ultimately, hinder genuine connection and collaboration. But fear not, my friends, for there are ways to navigate the murky waters of narcissism. One strategy is setting boundaries. Yep, establishing clear limits on what you will and will not tolerate can help protect your own well-being and maintain healthier relationships. Remember, it's okay to say no and prioritize your own needs. Now let's circle back to our main theme. We're exploring The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, and narcissism is just one piece of this intricate puzzle. Understanding these laws isn't about labeling others or placing blame. It's about gaining insight into human behavior and using that knowledge to navigate life's twists and turns with greater clarity and compassion. So the next time you encounter a narcissistic individual or catch yourself exhibiting narcissistic tendencies, take a moment to reflect. What underlying needs or insecurities might be driving this behavior? How can you respond with empathy and assertiveness while still maintaining your own boundaries? By diving into the depths of human nature, we can uncover layers of understanding that ultimately lead to deeper connections and more fulfilling relationships. I hope this video is useful for you. If you want more videos like this, please comment video, and I'll keep making them. Alright, now let's dive into the juicy topic, envy. You know that feeling when you see someone else's success, and instead of feeling happy for them, you feel a twinge of bitterness or resentment? Yeah, that's envy raising its ugly head. It's like a sneaky little gremlin that creeps up on us when we least expect it. But here's the thing about envy. It's not just about wanting what someone else has. It goes deeper than that. Envy can eat away at our own happiness and self-worth, leaving us feeling miserable and inadequate. It's like poison for the soul, slowly corroding our sense of fulfillment and contentment. So why do we feel envious? Well, it often stems from our own insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. When we see someone else achieving success or happiness, it can trigger our own fears of failure or unworthiness. We start comparing ourselves to others, measuring our own worth based on their achievements, and inevitably coming up short. But here's the thing, we're all on our own unique journey, and comparing ourselves to others is like comparing apples to oranges. Each of us have our own strengths, weaknesses, and path to follow. So, instead of letting envy consume us, let's use it as a catalyst for growth. How, you ask? Well, first off, acknowledge your feelings of envy. It's okay to feel jealous from time to time, we're only human after all. But don't let those feelings control you. Instead, use them as a signal that there's something you want to achieve or improve in your own life. Next, shift your focus from what others have to what you can do to achieve your own goals. Instead of dwelling on someone else's success, channel that energy into taking action towards your own dreams. Use envy as fuel to propel you forward, rather than weighing you down. And finally, practice gratitude. Instead of fixating on what you don't have, focus on what you do have and all the blessings in your life. Gratitude has a funny way of shifting our perspective and reminding us of the abundance that surrounds us. So remember, it's okay to feel envious from time to time, but don't let it consume you. Use it as a springboard for personal growth and gratitude, and watch as it transforms from a negative force into a positive motivator in your life. Now let's talk about the law of conformity. Meet Emily. She's a high school student who loves painting, but she's also really good at maths. Now, Emily's friends are all gearing up to pursue careers in STEM fields because, well, that's what everyone seems to be doing. Emily feels torn. On one hand, she's passionate about art, but on the other, she doesn't want to feel left out or judged by her peers. So what does she do? She caves into the pressure and decides to follow the crowd, even though deep down, she knows art is where her heart truly lies. Now, Emily's story might sound familiar because we've all been there at some point in our lives. Conformity is like this invisible force that tugs at us, urging us to blend in with the crowd, even if it means sacrificing our own dreams and desires. But here's the thing, conformity isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it's what helps society function smoothly. Think about it, without some level of conformity, chaos would reign supreme. However, the problem arises when conformity stifles individuality and creativity, like in Emily's case. When we feel pressured to conform to societal norms or peer expectations, we risk losing sight of who we truly are and what makes us unique. And that, my friends, is where the danger lies. But fear not, because there's hope. Breaking free from the shackles of conformity starts with self-awareness and courage. It's about having the strength to march to the beat of your own drum, even when the whole world seems to be dancing to a different tune. So, how can Emily reclaim her passion for art without fear of judgment or rejection? Well, for starters, she can surround herself with like-minded individuals who support her dreams and aspirations. Finding a community that celebrates her individuality can provide the encouragement and validation she needs to pursue her artistic talents wholeheartedly. Moreover, Emily can challenge herself to step outside her comfort zone and embrace opportunities that align with her passions, even if they deviate from the norm. By daring to be different and unapologetically herself, Emily can inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positive change in her community. In essence, the law of conformity reminds us that, while it's natural to seek acceptance and approval from others, true fulfillment comes from staying true to ourselves and embracing our unique quirks and talents. Now, let's dive into the wild world of aggression. Now, when we hear the word aggression, our minds might jump straight to images of roaring lions or raging bulls. But in the realm of human nature, aggression takes on a more nuanced role. Think of it like this. Aggression isn't inherently good or bad. It's all about how we channel and express it. Picture a pot of boiling water on a stove. If we let it simmer unchecked, it might boil over and cause a mess. But if we regulate the heat and use it to cook a delicious meal, well, that's a whole different story. So, where does aggression come into play in our everyday lives? Well, let's consider a scenario many of us can relate to: the workplace. You've got deadlines looming, co-workers stepping on your toes, and a boss breathing down your neck. It's enough to make anyone feel a bit on edge. But here's the thing. Assertiveness is a form of healthy aggression. It's about standing up for yourself and asserting your needs without bulldozing over others. Now, let's toss in a sprinkle of Robert Greene's wisdom from A Summary of the Laws of Human Nature. He talks about the importance of understanding the power dynamics at play in any given situation. It's like having a secret decoder ring that helps you navigate the murky waters of human interaction with finesse. But of course, not all aggression is created equal. There's a fine line between assertiveness and hostility, and it's crucial to tread carefully. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and ask yourself, am I expressing myself in a way that's respectful and constructive, or am I just adding fuel to the fire? And hey, let's not forget about the importance of empathy in the equation. Putting yourself in someone else's position can go a long way towards diffusing tense situations and fostering understanding. After all, we're all just trying to navigate this crazy world the best way we know how. So the next time you feel that familiar surge of aggression bubbling up inside you, remember to pause, reflect, and choose your actions wisely. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about using your voice to uplift and empower others. And that, my friends, is the true power of understanding the law of aggression. All right, now let's talk about the law of gender rigidity. You see, for ages, society has boxed people into rigid gender roles. Boys wear blue, girls wear pink, and heaven forbid anyone stray from these norms. But here's the thing, gender isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It's fluid, diverse, and beautifully complex. Think about it this way, imagine a world where a girl dreams of becoming an astronaut. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, meet Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman to travel in space. Yep, she shattered not one but two glass ceilings by pursuing her passion for science and exploration. Mae's story isn't just about defying gender stereotypes, it's about showing the world that anyone regardless of gender can reach for the stars and achieve their dreams. But Mae's journey is just one example of many. From Elon Musk revolutionizing the automotive industry to Oprah Winfrey breaking barriers in media, history is filled with trailblazers who refuse to be confined by society's expectations. These remarkable individuals remind us that true greatness knows no gender. So what can we learn from these inspiring stories? Well, for starters, it's time to ditch the outdated notion that certain jobs or interests are reserved for specific genders. Whether you're a boy who loves ballet or a girl who's passionate about coding, embrace your interest without fear of judgment. After all, it's our differences that make us unique and contribute to the rich tapestry of humanity. But breaking free from gender rigidity isn't just about individual empowerment, it's about creating a more inclusive and equitable society for all. By challenging stereotypes and promoting diversity, we pave the way for future generations to pursue their passions without limitations. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, "That's not something girls do," pause and ask yourself why. Challenge those preconceived notions and celebrate the diverse spectrum of interests, talents, and identities that make our world so vibrant. And remember, whether you're a rocket scientist or a ballet dancer, your worth isn't defined by your gender. It's defined by your passion, determination, and the impact you make on the world. So, go ahead, break free from the shackles of gender rigidity, and embrace the limitless possibilities that await. Now let's talk about the law of aimlessness. Ever felt like you're wandering through life without a clear sense of direction? It's like sailing aimlessly in a vast ocean without a compass. We've all been there, unsure of where we're headed or what we're striving for. But fear not, because understanding the law of aimlessness can help us chart a course towards fulfillment. Picture this. You wake up each morning, go through the motions, but deep down, you feel like something's missing. That's the aimless monster creeping in, sucking the joy out of your days. But here's the kicker. Finding purpose isn't about stumbling upon some grand revelation. It's about taking intentional steps towards what lights you up inside. Now let's tie it back to our main theme, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. See, Greene isn't just dropping knowledge bombs for the sake of it, he's handing us the keys to understanding ourselves better. And when it comes to aimlessness, he's like that wise mentor nudging us in the right direction. So, how do we break free from the aimlessness trap? Well, it starts with introspection. Take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your passions, your values, your dreams? Once you have a clearer picture, set some goals, small, achievable milestones that propel you forward. But here's the thing, goal setting isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a continuous process of refinement and adaptation. Life throws curveballs and sometimes our priorities shift, and that's okay. The key is to stay flexible and open-minded, adjusting our course as needed while staying true to our core values. Now, let's get practical. Break down your big, audacious goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Want to write a book? Start by committing to writing just one page a day. Dream of traveling the world. Begin by saving a small portion of your income each month. And don't forget to celebrate your victories along the way, no matter how small. Each step forward is a testament to your resilience and determination. So pat yourself on the back, acknowledge your progress, and keep pressing onward. Remember, life is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the twists and turns, the highs and lows, knowing that each experience shapes you into the person you're meant to be. All right, now let's talk about short-sightedness. Not the kind where you need glasses, but the mental kind where we focus too much on what's right in front of us and forget about the big picture. Picture this. You've got a plate of cookies in front of you, and they look oh so tempting. You think, one more won't hurt, and before you know it, you've devoured the whole plate. Sure, it feels good in the moment, but later on, you're left feeling sluggish and regretful. Now take that scenario and apply it to life decisions. How often do we go for the immediate gratification without considering the long-term consequences? Maybe it's splurging on a fancy gadget instead of saving for a rainy day, or procrastinating on studying for that important exam because Netflix seems more appealing right now. The thing is, short-sightedness can hold us back from reaching our full potential. It's like driving a car without looking ahead. You might enjoy the scenery for a while, but sooner or later, you're bound to crash. So how do we overcome this tendency? First off, it's all about shifting our perspective. Instead of focusing solely on instant gratification, we need to zoom out and think about the bigger picture. Ask yourself, will this decision benefit me in the long run, or am I just satisfying a fleeting desire? Next, we've got to practice patience. I know, easier said than done, right? But think of it like planting seeds in a garden. You can't expect a bountiful harvest overnight. It takes time, care, and nurturing. So whether it's saving money, pursuing a career goal, or building meaningful relationships, remember that good things come to those who wait. But hey, I get it. Life's unpredictable, and sometimes we're forced to make decisions on the fly. That's where having a solid plan comes in handy. By setting clear goals and priorities, we can steer clear of impulsive choices and stay focused on what truly matters to us. And let's not forget the power of reflection. Take a step back every now and then to evaluate your choices and learn from past mistakes. It's okay to deviate from the path occasionally. What matters is that we make the necessary corrections and keep moving forward. So, by keeping our eyes on the prize, practicing patience, making thoughtful plans, and reflecting on our journey, we can overcome this common pitfall and set ourselves up for long-term success. Remember, life's not just about the here and now, it's about playing the long game. Now let's dive into the law of defensiveness. Picture this. You're having a conversation with a friend and they say something that hits a nerve. Suddenly, you feel a wall going up and you find yourself getting defensive. Sound familiar? We've all been there. So, what exactly is defensiveness? It's like putting on armor to protect ourselves from perceived threats, whether they're real or imagined. It's a natural reaction when we feel attacked or criticized. But here's the kicker. It often does more harm than good. Think about it this way. When we're defensive, we're shutting down communication and blocking any chance of resolving the issue constructively. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline, not exactly the most effective strategy, right? But fear not, my friends, because there are ways to break free from the cycle of defensiveness. It starts with awareness, recognizing when we're getting defensive and taking a step back to assess the situation calmly. Next, it's all about practicing empathy, putting ourselves in the other person's shoes and trying to understand where they're coming from. Maybe they didn't intend to hurt us, or perhaps there's a misunderstanding that needs clearing up. Communication is key here, guys. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a deep breath and express your thoughts and feelings calmly and assertively. Use I statements to avoid sounding accusatory and focus on finding common ground. And don't forget the power of vulnerability. It's okay to admit when we're wrong or when something has hurt us. In fact, showing vulnerability can strengthen relationships and foster trust and understanding. So the next time you feel that familiar pang of defensiveness creeping in, remember these simple steps: awareness, empathy, communication, and vulnerability. Break down those walls, open up those lines of communication, and watch as conflicts dissolve and relationships flourish. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Armed with these insights, you're ready to navigate the murky waters of human interaction with grace and understanding. And there you have it, guys. A summary of the laws of human nature by Robert Greene. Remember, understanding these principles isn't about manipulating others, it's about cultivating self-awareness and empathy. So, go forth armed with this newfound knowledge and navigate the intricate dance of human interactions with grace and understanding. And for those craving more insights, don't miss the chance to dive into any audiobook of your choosing for free. Find the link strategically placed below this video. You can also find a list of suggested books and where to buy them. By the way, if you want to learn how to think big and make it happen, I recommend you watch this video next. Do not hesitate to share this video. It may help someone. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.